Hi class, and welcome to lesson 2. Today we're going to be talking about how to appeal to your audience. After watching this video, you should be able to identify what type of audience you will be persuading, and you should be able to identify and use pathos, logos, and ethos when reading, watching, or writing a persuasive speech. Don't forget to take notes. Information with a check mark is important and should be noted for future reference. The first thing you need to do is to ask yourself, who is your audience? So ask yourself, how old are they? Do they belong to a specific group? What are their beliefs? And a good thing to do is, before you write your speech, survey your audience before to find out how they feel about a certain topic and how easy or difficult it is to persuade them. So there are 4 types of audiences. The first audience is a supportive audience, and this audience already agrees with you, but they need a little affirmation. But just because they agree with you doesn't mean that you don't have to give it your all. This audience should always be entertained. The next audience is the uncommitted audience, and this audience needs information to be able to decide whether they are for or against the issue. And this audience wants and needs to be convinced one way or another. The next audience is my least favorite audience, and this is the indifferent audience. And this audience doesn't care about the subject or about you. It's hard to be enthusiastic with this audience, but don't feel discouraged. You will at least convince one person, and that's kind of the point, right? And then the next one is an opposed audience, and this audience is against your views, and they're usually very, very hostile. Now the goal with this audience is to compromise and convince them to listen to your side. They don't necessarily have to believe your side, but they have to understand where you're coming from. And never ever argue with this audience, or any audience. And there are 3 ways to appeal to your audience. The first one is logistically, and this is called logos, and this is persuasion by use of reasoning. The next one is emotionally, this is called pathos, and this is persuasion by appealing to an audience's emotions. And then the next one is ethically, and this is called ethos. And this is persuasion through the character or credibility of the persuader. And we're going to get into logos. With logos, you're going to offer evidence and reason. And it is very important to stay organized and do your research with this rhetorical device. People that appeal to logos want to see numbers. They want to see statistics, facts, and it's really good to use a chart with this appeal. The next one is going to be pathos, and this hits the heart of your audience by showing emotions through words, gestures, and tones. And it is very important that you act how you want your audience to feel. So if you want your audience to feel angry, be angry. They like emotion. And then the next one is going to be ethos, and this is when you build trust and credibility with your audience. It is important to build relationships with your audience and to be genuine so that they believe everything that you have to say. I'm going to play 3 videos, and you will have to decide whether or not these videos use pathos, logos, or ethos. And we will be discussing the videos in class and your thoughts on them. God, I love that video.
Welcome to a televised performance of the National Symphony. We'll be hearing Beethoven's Ninth, and the conductor, Shimizu Matsuka, will be replaced by a relative newcomer, Curtis Jackson, also known as the rapper, 50 Cent.
He says he's always loved the work of Beethoven and often thinks of him as a true OG. Kept so busy by his recording career, it hasn't felt up to trying this. But since he began drinking vitamin water Formula 50, he feels he's up to the task.
One more change, this one for the first viola chair, DJ Who Kid. Sounds like he's integrated his hit into club. Extraordinary. And now he's calling out the trombonist for a solo, which is great because they've been rumored to have beat before the show.
Vitamin water, try.
In the year 2030, 58% of adults will be overweight, according to statistics. Thanks to lifts, escalators, cars, chairs, and computers, we will be more and more sedentary. By the year 2030, 60% of the world's population will live in cities. And we'll spend most of our time sitting or lying down. In spite of all this, we will still feel stressed, and 20% will have trouble sleeping. By that year, 60% of all children are likely not to have seen a cow, and bad dietary habits will continue to increase. This is what our world will be like in the year 2030, according to statistics. But the only real statistic is that 100% of statistics are made by us. And we are going to change them. What if we stand up?
Okay, that's going to be all. So for homework, remember to identify the rhetorical devices used, so pathos, logos, and ethos, in each video. Bring your notes to class, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!